There's a new Pantone color of the year, and today I am going to create a card inspired by that color. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and my studio. The Pantone color of the year is called Viva Magenta. A Viva Magenta. Thank you. I think I keep calling it Magenta Viva in the video, but you know, it's neither here nor there, but what it is, it's a great reddish magenta tone, and I dug through all of my inks, but as you will see on camera, I forgot about one, and that turned out to be the one that worked the best. So, also, the nails, total match for Viva Magenta. I may have planned that. To see my card inspired by the Pantone color of the year for 2023, stick around. It's coming up next. Also, I didn't have time to put mascara on. I was just too excited about the color of the year. So today's video is all about working with the color that I feel best represents the Pantone 2023 color of the year, which is called Magenta Viva. Now, I've got this pulled up on my phone here. They're describing this as a shade that is rooted in nature, descending from the red family, and expressive of a new signal of strength. Viva Magenta is brave and fearless, and a pulsating color whose exuberance promotes a joyous and optimistic celebration, writing a new narrative. That might be a bit much for me. I just think it's kind of, well, it's kind of this color. What you see on my nails, I feel like this is the closest match that I found. Now, I experimented with some inks because, well, is it Viva Magenta? Yeah, Viva Magenta. While it is using the word magenta, it is not as pink and purpley. It is definitely more in the red tones. And here's the thing, I feel like the new Lumberjack Plaid, even though this right here is the distress formulation, I feel like that might be a better representation of the color on the sample dot. That might be the closest one because I think that Lumberjack Plaid does have magenta undertones. However, as I was showing this to the hubby, he saw the festive berries and felt like that kind of pulled in that Viva Magenta. However, Dark Carnation from Gina K Designs, now it doesn't look quite as dark as my nail, but these are the closest that I have. So I'm going to create something. I actually am going to make a winter scene with a Viva Magenta sky, and it's going to start with some ink blending and die cutting, and hopefully we'll have something cute. But if you have a suggestion, because I don't have every ink line under the sun, in fact, I forgot to check. No, I did check my Concord and 9th inks. I did not see a color that was compatible. I didn't check Pinkfresh Studio. Those are the only other inks I have. Let me do that real quick. Wasn't even thinking. So let's give Raspberry Bliss a try. Okay, I'm gonna flip this over and I'm gonna stamp it a couple times. I'm just curious, is this going to be close? All right. Oh, oh boy, look at that. Now I feel like, what happens when we layer it? Whoa, that might be the color. Oh, this is very exciting. Okay, let me see if I can wipe this off. I think the persimmon will definitely be more red. It's funny how, you know, I don't know which inks you have. I have what you see plus Concord and 9th. I do have some Hero Cubes somewhere. Oh no, that's definitely going to be more of a red tone. Okay, that color compared to my fingernail, I think that is literally the most Viva Magenta. So you know what? We just are going to, we're gonna be working with this today. So let me grab a few other colors from the Pinkfresh collection and figure out what my winter sky is going to look like. I'm gonna clean this brush really well. I'm using one that hews more towards the reds. And I'm going to start and have this be darker up top because I think that's going to look very cool. And I've got my little blending mat here that I love to work on, which is really nice on this glass mat. So the glass mat is new, right? This is a new piece in my studio and I'm kind of loving it. And I love how my inkstand just like clings to it beautifully. And the mat, of course, allows me to, have my paper stay as well. So, all right, let's see here. We're going to start at the top and bring this color in. And I do want it to be dark at the top. This will get trimmed down a little, okay? And also this color will probably leave a stain on my mat because that's just kind of what these types of colors do. So we're bringing it in. I want it to be nice and deep up top, like that. Ooh. Red sky at night. Some form of delight, but yes, we're gonna keep this going. I think that's nice. All right. Again, just get that nicely up top. I haven't even shown you the die cut that I'm going to be using, but let's close this up. And I'm going to bring in this color, which is Apricot, because I just wanted to have one little bit of orange in here so that it feels like a sky that's, yeah, that'll be good. That's yeah, we'll see. We're going to blend this in. We'll just come right up into this part so that we do get a little bit of a transition in there. And I'm going to turn this into a snow sky too. So we are going to flick on some snow. And I think it's going to be kind of cool. But see that color? Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm not going to do anything else down here. I don't need any more color. So let me go wipe down the mat and bring out my little splatter box. So I'm going to add a little snow up here, and I have my Amsterdam fluid acrylic ink. It's kind of messy. It's kind of a messy ink. So we'll get that open. Okay. And just put some right on there. Like that. Close it up. It is very messy. All right. Now I'm going to add, oh, look at that. I'm going to add some water to this, just so it's nice and wet. And all we're going to do with our fan brush here is pick this up, right? Get it nice like that. And we're just going to tap on some snow to the sky. Down here a little. Sometimes I guess the finger tap really does work well. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's just going to make this seem like a snowy sky. And I know this isn't reality, but I mean, maybe it is. I don't know, Let's get a little more there. Okay. I am going to let that dry completely. Okay, a little tap there, just very snowy sky. All right, that's going to dry. I'll go clean all this up and then we will start some die cutting. To make my winter scene, I'm going to use this little Evergreen trees die, and we're going to put it up a little high, because I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with this yet, but I know I want to have enough room for a greeting. So I think, just to make sure this doesn't shift, I will tape this into place like that. Okay, and it's going to cut a nice little wintry pattern. So I'm going to go run that through the die cut machine. I forgot to turn on my camera, so we'll just cut it. Let's see here. And here's what we will emerge with. So let's take this out like that. I'm just going to go ahead and grab this little Zielske pad here from my little paper piecing kit that I found recently. This is kind of cool. And all I'm going to do is just get those backgrounds out. Work my way. Well, let's see. I want to. It's very detailed work. This is Neenah Solar White Classic Crest, 110 pounds. So, it's got a little heft to it, but I'm going to poke all the stuff out And then hopefully all of this will release and look beautiful, etc. Here we go. Come on up. I'm always worried that I'm going to bend, but it cuts beautifully. It just takes a minute to get it all out. Okay, come on. Release, release. There we go. Oh, look at how cute that is. Okay, now I can poke out the little innards, okay? All right, now look at that gorgeous little tree line, okay? Because this is going to overlay my beautiful background, and then my greeting is going to go on here. And I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing for my greeting yet, but at the same time, I think I might use this die. I don't even know if these are in stock right now. I absolutely love this, and I feel like just a simple piece could be very nice on this. So let me go ahead and cut a few of these out off camera, out of some white cardstock, so we have a little dimension. I might do one in a metallic too, but let me cut some out so I can glue them together. I've got my pieces laid out here, and get it, pieces. I don't think I'm going to use the gold one, and here's why. I am going to trim each of these down a little bit, because once I have, I mean, look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's so simple, right? Who's to say a sky doesn't look like that in the winter? But once I have this built up a little, that's going to give me this tone on tone. And honestly, this is the peaceful feeling I'm going for. I might even cut out one more, but we'll glue those together, and I'll probably just use some spray glue. However, I am going to trim both of these down to be 5 inches wide and 3 3/4 tall. And so I'll go ahead and do the die cutting. I think that's dry enough. And get that trimmed just so that this is going to be right about like that, I guess. I want to make sure that well, you know what too? I could just do this one with a paper trimmer, but I like the idea of doing them both with the die, because then you get that lovely finished sort of almost beveled edge. So let's do some die cutting, and then we'll start assembling things. True story, my piece was... I didn't tape it in place and it twisted. So this is not going to work because that's all askew. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this first, which I just did, and then I'll take my tree. I don't always work in the right order. Is there a right order? Is there a wrong order? Well, sometimes there's just an order. So here, again, now that's going to be a little better, right? Because I just want to make sure that I have enough room for the word peace to be here. Come up a little, come up a little. I think, and that way I can get my tree right about there. I think that will be golden. So we will tape this into place. We're going to try it again. You know, mistakes. And this could be used for something else, maybe. All right, we'll cut this out. So this looks better. Right? I'm going to put this upside down in this little box, and just off to the side here, I'm going to add a little spray glue, because that will just be a very quick way to add this. Oh, I don't want those tweezers. I want my tweezers that are a little bit mucky. Where are my mucky tweezers? Well, now I can't find anything today, so I guess I'll have to use, oh, they're right here. I keep a separate set of tweezers that I clean from time to time, but I use these for sticky things. So let's add some adhesive. And I love this little trick because it makes it easier to line things up. So just press that into the corner, press that onto the base, and look at that. Quickly and easily line up your panel, right? And then just tap down the trees. And I don't even mind if I don't have adhesive on all the trees, because I kind of think it looks cool to not. I didn't put a lot of glue on here. Oops. Just going to burnish that down a little. But there we go. We'll just do that. Isn't that pretty? All right. I'm going to also, while I'm here, glue these together as well. And I'll get some foam tape on the back of this panel. All right. We'll just glue this real quick. It's kind of easy to do these bigger, chunkier ones because they're just a little easier to line up. I just put the spray glue in my little box that I keep off camera. Let me grab the other one. I don't like to spray that glue when I'm filming because I just want to be able to turn my head away from it very quickly. You're supposed to use it in a well-ventilated area. I feel like the studio may not be the most well-ventilated. However, now look at that with just that tone-on-tone piece. I see it might be a little big, but I actually think it's really pretty. So let's get a note card prepped. So I'm going to score my note card here right at the 4 1/4 mark. And this is a sheet of 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, right? We're going to make a nice landscape or horizontal oriented card. Fold you down and give that a nice press with my Teflon bone folder. All right, I'm going to grab some tape to hold this closed. You know, I could do it with the magnets that I have here on my board, but I mean, I could, right? Actually, you know, I could do that. But the thing is when I go to photograph these, they have to be flat for taking pictures. So it's kind of, you know, it's kind of 6 of 1, right? Although what could be nice here is letting that hold this in place, because this is a little bit more slippery than what I'm used to. Let me get some foam tape. I am going to use this lovely Altenew foam tape, and I'll just put this on the back. So we'll cut this open. Cut these strips. One. Let's do, I'll get you out of the way for now. I hate that being in the way. There we go. Okay. 2. And 3 should be good. See, here's the thing. Is this a perfect adaptation of the Pantone Color of the Year? Well, you know what? The thing that's fun is, and I feel like, well, that is pretty cool though. Anytime there's a new color of the year, it's fun to play, right? It's kind of fun to see, is there anything I can do with it? I remember last year's, I believe, was gray and yellow. They did what's known as a twofer. All right, here we go. Stand up here and hopefully my head won't get in the way. But if it does, you know, it's okay. It's gonna be just fine. Oh, there's a little head. I can see it. See, the shadows on those are kind of throwing me off a little, but that's nice. This actually held these in place pretty nicely. These magnets, you can order these as part of the board, and they're not like the strongest thing, but they're not bad. All right, now let's get our good tweezers. These are my new Simon Says Stamp tweezers that are only for gluing now, meaning for adhering gluing things. And I'm going to take my little bit of Gina K Connect glue, and we're just going to, you know, put a little glue on the back here. That way I have a little more wiggle room, and this will hold this in place nicely without oozing out. And even if it does ooze out, that's okay because it dries clear. All right. I really like the look of this. And again, you know, that color of the year, it's just fun for inspiration. And when I started, I had no idea that this color was going to be the match, because I had already, you know, I had pulled out the lumberjack plaid, the dark carnation, the festive berries, and I think those are all excellent options. So if you have any of those, or if you have a color that you think is even better, let me know in the comments, because, you know, I'm always down for trying other inks. And let's just place that down right in the center, like that. Now that is a card for peace. I could build this up one more. I'm going to show you why I don't love this. Even though this is very warm, I feel like it just, I mean, the gold is pretty, right? But it does change the feel of this. And if you are going for, you know, this sense of peace, having something really minimal like that is perfectly fine. So this is my Pantone Color of the Year Viva Magenta inspiration piece. I kind of love how this turned out, right? So what can you do with Viva Magenta? Well, pick out a color that's in your stash. Maybe you have this, or maybe you, like I said, have another one that you want to share with me, and get to creating with this bold, hot pink red tone. You can find links to all of the supplies I used in today's video in the YouTube description box. I'd love to have you become a subscriber to my channel, so be sure to do that and hit the like button if you got value from this video. To see some more winter-themed card ideas, check out these 2 thumbnails I've got queued up for you below, and I'll see you in those videos.